Trace Sport, brought to you by Nokia Azure Smartphones. Do it freestyle.
I was born in 1993 in Cape Town, and I spent 2 years there with my family before they decided to move to Joburg. And I currently live in Benoni. I spent most of my childhood in Boksburg. Believe it or not, yeah, I did wear shoes there for most of the time. Yeah, look, I spent a year of my life when I was 15 in Cape Town. Really, I enjoy that place. If I could live there now, I probably would. It's a really awesome place. But for now, I'm really enjoying where I am. Staying in Fourways currently. Really good place to be at the moment. So for where I'm currently situated with my studying and with my work, it's the perfect place. So for next year, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll move around a bit. It's not so nice when you get too settled and everything gets a bit stale, so let's see how it goes. Well, I got into racing. I was really passionate about Formula 1 when I was younger. Probably about 4 or 5 years old, I was already watching my first Formula 1 races. My dad actually started racing when he was probably about 30. He did a couple of kart races. I watched him and I was immediately in love. And he bought my first kart when I was about 5. I did a couple of practices in it and I loved it. And at 6 years old I was racing, and actually at 6 was, as soon as I started, is when I won my first race, so I knew this is where I need to be. And so my passion grew from there. I still really enjoy Formula 1 though, it's awesome. But that's basically where it started. For the future, I'd probably like to be in Europe, racing single-seaters, something like GP2, GP3, something around there. And ultimately, the main dream for every young racing driver would be to get to Formula 1, and that's where I'd like to be. I've done some testing in single-seaters in South Africa and actually in Malaysia as well when I was a bit younger. I really love single-seaters. Just the feel of being inside that just by yourself with nothing around you and all the gadgets at your fingertips, it's really awesome. The car is completely carbon fiber, slicks and wings, so the handling, the performance of the car is absolutely awesome. You can't compare it to anything else. And for me to keep moving up in that is what I'd like. Europe is where is the place to be for racing. It's where the main competition, the main field, all the world champions are basically from Europe. So that's where I'd want to be maybe five years from now. And I think with a little bit of help from some sponsors I could do it. attraction in racing, I would say, would be the adrenaline, the rush, the speed, the politics, the people. Everything's just fast, you know. The people around you are always, you know, they're so professional. Everything is put down to a fine art. There's no guessing, and you know, the people have to be so good at what they do. It's really important for you to be surrounded by the right people. So I think the main attraction though would be the adrenaline, for sure. You know, that rush you don't really get from many other things. Maybe in some other sports you get a different type of adrenaline rush, but for me, whatever sport I play, I can't compare to this. You know, you go around, you do some racing. When you get on the track though for that main important race and you're in there racing, there's nothing compared to. When I'm not racing, I'm at the gym trying to stay fit. You know, keeping my body fit for the racing. It's really important to keep yourself fit when you're not in the seats. Otherwise, I like to play squash, a little bit of cricket now and again. Otherwise, maybe some rugby. It's always good fun, obviously trying not to get hurt because then the whole season's gone. So otherwise, you're just taking it easy. But I think racing is just where I want to be all the time, 24/7. So there's not many other things I like to do besides racing. My top food would probably be pasta. I really love pasta. My top car, I would have to say, is the Bugatti Veyron. It's just a really fast car, more speed. My top social media is Facebook. My top Formula 1 driver, Sebastian Vettel. Really love that guy, awesome. My top place I'd like to visit, probably somewhere like Mauritius, maybe Thailand. I want to go see some of those places. I've been to a lot of places in Europe, so maybe somewhere in Asia I want to visit. My top movie, Driven. I think it's about racing. I love racing. You know, well, in sport, there's always an element of danger, but I think in racing, it's a little bit more than any other because of the speed. You know, the amount of effort, the amount of time everyone's putting in. It starts to get a bit crazy sometimes. It is relatively safe, but there has been a couple of times where people have flipped, landed on their heads, you know, stuff like that. Me myself, I haven't done that, but actually about a month ago at one of the nationals, I crashed into the tires, probably doing about 100 km an hour backwards. I rolled out of my cart onto the track, dashed for the side, dived out. So that was probably one of my worst accidents. I didn't get too hurt, luckily, but I have seen a couple of accidents actually right here where people have had big ones, landed, you know, broken bones, broken legs, broken arms, all sorts of things. But you know, at the end of the day, people keep coming because maybe that risk is what they want, you know, that risk of maybe a bit of danger now and again in their life. So. When I'm off the track, I like to come out here and help a couple of the younger kids coming through the ranks. I like to give a little bit of my inputs because when I was younger, a lot of people helped me out, and I like to give a little bit back to them. It's really nice to see them come up and start getting better, and really their gratitude is awesome to see. And when they start winning races, it's enough for me. I can relate to them completely because I've got the same thing. but it's really nice. There's not many things that can beat that feeling of seeing them come from the bottom and get to the top. And hopefully I can help a couple more people. This past weekend I helped someone in a race, and I really hope I can keep doing it. It's nice to see it. Well, my biggest achievements, I think, would have to be 2010, when I won my second world title back-to-back. It was awesome, but what made it so awesome is the fact that I started last in that race, in a field of 34 karters, and I came from 34th to win in a race against the world's best, and it's really never been seen before. I think it was probably the first for them, and it was really awesome feeling. Another one of my favorite accomplishments is when I won in my third race in a single seater. I just started, and my third race already I was winning. For me that's awesome.
Sport, brought to you by Nokia Azure Smartphones. Do it freestyle.